Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Welcome to our online learning initiative.
We are going to discuss the new topic magnetic field due to a current element. Today our topic is magnetic field due to a current element. So here we are going to discuss about a very interesting law, is Biot-Savart's law. This Biot-Savart's law, which relates the current and the strength of the magnetic field. We all of us know that who created this magnetic field? We can immediately say that moving charges or current which creates the magnetic field, right? So now let us here, we assume a current carrying conductor. Okay, so XY be the current carrying conductor. So here I be the current flowing through this conductor. So I told you that current, that is this current which creates the magnetic field. Okay, so the moving charges. So here my question is, what is essential for the charges to flow? The path is very essential. Okay, so here we are going to consider the path, that is the small length. So this dl will be taken as element length. Okay, and IDL be the current element. So I'll write here, what is this DL? This DL is element length. Okay, and I am going to consider IDL. Actually, I be the scalar quantity and this DL be the vector quantity because which has a certain direction. Okay, so current element. So here, what is our aim? We are going to find what will be the strength of the magnetic field at any point. Let us assume let P be the point where we are going to find the strength of the magnetic field. Since we consider a small element here, let dB be the small magnetic field. And now let us assume R be the distance. Okay, and we are going to take this R be the position vector, and both this R as well as DL, they have certain direction also. Okay, so now I told you that this Biot-Savart's law which relates the current I as well as the strength of the magnetic field. Okay, So here we are going to see what this law states. According to this law, the strength of the magnetic field, that is GB, which is directly proportional to the current element IDL. Okay. And again, this strength of the magnetic field is inversely proportional to square of the distance. Actually, this R be the distance between this current, that is this small element length, as well as the point where we are going to find the strength of the magnetic field. Okay. And one more thing is also very essential here, children. Whether this magnetic field is same in all these places. That is, my question is here I am going to uh, take this angle also, because this theta be the angle between this dl vector as well as r vector. Okay. So according to Biot-Savart, this strength of the magnetic field, which is also proportional to sine theta. What is this theta, children? Theta be the angle between this dl vector and r vector. Okay. So let me combine all the three above proportionality. I will get dB is directly proportional to IDL sine theta divided by r square. Whenever we have this proportionality, that proportionality will be removed by a proportionality constant. So this proportionality will be removed by a constant. That constant of proportionality is mu naught by 4 pi IDL sine theta divided by r square. What is this mu naught? This mu naught, which is nothing but permeability of free space. Like what we have learned in electrostatics. What is epsilon naught? Epsilon naught is the permittivity of free space. That is, the permeability of free space is mu naught. That is, which is nothing but magnetic characteristics of a space. Okay, so here mu naught is the permeability of free space. Permeability of free space. Okay, so this is permeability of free space. Okay. Okay. So what is the value of this mu naught by 4 pi? Actually, this 4 pi, which is nothing but a complete solid angle. Okay. So this mu naught by 4 pi, whose value is some 10 power minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Okay. So according to Biot-Savart's law, what is the strength of the magnitude? That is the strength of the magnetic field. That is the magnitude is given by magnitude of the strength of the magnetic field is mu naught by 4 pi IDL sine theta by r square, and mu naught by 4 pi is equal to 10 power minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Okay, because we know the strength of magnetic field unit is Tesla. Okay. Now, here one more thing is also very important. If we consider the point P somewhere here, children, okay, if you assume the point P is here. Okay, now look at the angle between this dl vector and r vector. So dl vector and r vector, they are exactly right angle. Okay, and what will be the strength of the magnetic field? If dl vector and r vector are perpendicular to each other, then theta will be theta will be 90 then. Then what will be the strength of the magnetic field? The strength of the magnetic field will be, that is the strength of the magnetic field will be maximum. Am I right? Which will be maximum. Now, what will happen to the strength of the magnetic field when we go from here? So it will become, so here it is maximum. Okay. dB will be maximum here. So here it will be maximum dB. But when it goes from here, so we are moving the point P from here to here. So this will become weaker, 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 weaker. When it reaches this point, then the strength will become minimum because the angle between dl vector and r vector will become 0. Then what is sine 0? Sine 0 is 0. So the strength of the magnetic field will be, dB will be minimum. Okay, dB will be minimum. So this is again very important. This is about the magnitude of the magnetic field. Now, what will be the direction of this magnetic field? Actually, the direction of the magnetic field can be given by right hand thumb rule. Okay. And also we can say that the direction is perpendicular to the plane containing this dl vector and r vector. Okay. Again, this is very important. So now we have written this Biot-Savart's law in that is the magnitude of the strength of the magnetic field, or we have given here. Okay. We can also write this Biot-Savart's law in vector form. Okay. So, because we know that magnetic field is a vector quantity. So, the strength of the magnetic field is equal to mu naught by 4 pi. Okay. And we already know that I be the scalar quantity. So, keep I as it is. But what is this theta? Theta be the angle between dl vector and r vector. So, can we write it as dl vector cross sine theta? Then it will become cross product. Okay, divided by, here we can write that r vector cube. So the same thing when you write it, the magnitude when you write, you can write that mu naught by 4 pi. Then how can you write this? This ideal, this r cross b can be written as r sine theta divided by r cube. So this r and r get cancelled. So you will get square. So this is what given here. dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi IDL sin theta by r square. So now we discussed about the relation between strength of the magnetic field as well as current. And also we discussed about what is the magnitude of the strength of the magnetic field, and we discussed about that mu naught and what is the value of mu naught by 4 pi and what is current element. Okay, and also how can we write Biot-Savart's law in vector form. And I told you that what is the direction of the magnetic field. The direction of the magnetic field is a perpendicular. So you can mark like this. So it is perpendicular to the plane containing this dl vector and r vector. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about a very important thing, which is we are going to compare Coulomb's law and Biot-Savart's law. Okay. So we are going to compare Coulomb's law and Biot-Savart's law. So Biot-Savart law versus Coulomb's law. So first let us see the similarities. The first similarity is both the laws are long range. So when we say that long range, that is both electric field as well as magnetic field can be calculated at any distance. So they are long range laws. Okay. Then the second similarity is both the laws they obey inverse square law. Okay. So we can write that they obey inverse square law. Inverse square law. And both the laws they follow superposition principle. Follow superposition principle. Here, if I say that they obey superposition principle means, for example, if at any particular point, if you have two magnetic field, that is the magnetic field due to two sources, they can be added by vector addition. And similarly, electric field also. Okay, if you have a two electric field due to two sources, then it can be added. Okay, that is how can you add by vector addition. So both the laws are long range laws and they obey inverse square law because that is electric field is inversely proportional to r square. Similarly, magnetic field which is also inversely proportional to r square, and they follow superposition principle. Okay, and now let us see the differences also, children. So differences. The first point is I can say that we know that what is the source for this electric field. We know that the scalar quantity, that is charge. Okay, so I can write that the electric field is by scalar source charge. Scalar source charge. But what is the source for the magnetic field? The magnetic field is by the current element. Okay, so vector source. So we know that vector source IDL. Okay, this is the first difference. Then the second difference is that what will be the direction? We know that this electric field which acts along R. That is, for example, if you have the charge here, the electric field will be along this direction. So QB, the charge here, we have the electric field along R. But what is the direction of the magnetic field? Magnetic field which acts perpendicular to R. So now let us assume this is the element length and this will be the R. Okay. And what is the direction of this magnetic field? I told you that the magnetic field which is perpendicular to the plane containing this dl vector and r vector. So this is the second difference. Then we have one more difference is also, children, the electric field in Coulomb's law. We don't have any angle dependence. Okay, so electric field is independent of, it is independent of angle theta. But the magnetic field, which depends on angle, because angle theta. Okay. We know that the magnetic field, that is in Biot-Savart's law, we discussed that dB is equal to mu naught by 4 pi IDL sin theta by r square. That is depends on the value of theta, the strength of the magnetic field, which will vary. So these are the similarities and differences between Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law. Okay. So in differences, electric field is by the scalar source, that is charge, but magnetic field is by vector source ideal. And E acts along R. Okay. But B acts which perpendicular to R. And E is independent of angle theta, but B which depends on angle theta. Okay. So now we are going to see the relation. We are going to actually see the relation, or else we can say that how we are going to combine this permittivity of free space and permeability of free space with velocity of light. So we will see now. So we know that what is permeability of free space, that is permeability which is related with magnetic field. And what about this epsilon naught is the permittivity. Okay. So mu naught and epsilon naught we know. And I am going to multiply and divide this by 4 pi. So if I do that, I am going to write this as, how I am going to write this, you see. Epsilon naught, I am going to, that is 4 pi epsilon naught into 1 by mu naught by 4 pi. Okay. So mu naught by 4 pi. So here what we did actually, multiply and divide by 4 pi 4 pi. So 4 pi epsilon naught mu naught by 4 pi. Because in the electric field, that is in Coulomb's law, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught value we know, right? So what is actually 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught is equal to 9 into 10 power 9 we know. And similarly mu naught by 4 pi is equal to 10 power minus 7, right? So if we substitute, actually what do you have here? 4 pi epsilon naught. So I'm going to write this as 1 by 9 into 10 power 9 into 10 power minus 7. Okay. So you can write this as 1 divided by 9 into, you bring this 10 power minus 7 to the denominator. So 10 power 16 you will get. Can you write this as 1 divided by, okay, 3 into 10 power 8, the, 8 the whole square. Actually, what is this 3 into 10 power 8, children? Which is nothing but velocity. So this is equal to C. Okay, so you have square here. So C square. Okay. Now let us consider this mu naught epsilon naught. Okay. Actually, 1 by C square is equal to mu naught epsilon naught. Epsilon naught. Okay. So now you take the square root on both the sides. Sorry, here you don't have the square. Okay. So this is 1 by C square is equal to mu naught epsilon naught, right? Yes. Now when you take the square root on both the sides, what will you get? 1 by C is equal to root of mu naught epsilon naught. Okay, am I correct? Yes. So from this we can write that C C is equal to, that is velocity of light, is equal to root of 1 divided by root of mu naught epsilon naught. Okay, so this is very important, children. The velocity of light is equal to, C is equal to 1 divided by root of mu naught epsilon naught. So, in today's class, we discussed about Biot-Savart's law, and also we discussed about what is the expression given by Biot-Savart's law, that is the relation Biot-Savart's law, which gives the relation between current and magnetic field, that is strength of the magnetic field, and what is the direction, and also we discussed about how can we write Biot-Savart's law in vector form, and also we saw the similarities as well as differences between Biot-Savart's law and Coulomb's law, and we discussed about with the help of the permeability and permittivity, what is the value of velocity of light also. Okay, C is equal to 1 divided by root of mu naught epsilon naught. Hope you all of you enjoyed this class. See you children. Thank you.